Who would know? That'd be a Raider thing, wouldn't it?
I think we might have this before. Not here with
They should have came with you, Raider. Something just got parked on.
Oh, I can go turn it off, turn it back on right quick. Reset it.
We're about to go. We're going to try it, you know, it's fun.
I'm coming, wait.
Where'd you gotta go to do that? Downstairs or all the way down?
All the way back there.
Thanks.
All right, folks, it is day one action here of the 2024 Hydro Weekly Labor Day Tournament. Co-host site, Weatherford Eagle Park. We'll have 5 games on tap today. We will be flexing the Hydro Weekly game at approximately 4 p.m. So we're going to do our best to try to set up one generic feed for a doubleheader here, and then bounce back over to Hydro at approximately 4 to do their game. Schedules for today: 10 a.m. game starting at Hydro Weekly will feature Fort Cod Broxton versus Binger Oni. And our first game here at Weatherford Eagle Park is Leedey versus Sentinel. Rips it to third, fires over, and it is a 5-3 ground out to start the game. One down for the Bulldogs, who will be the visiting team on the scoreboard. Sentinel had been a stalwart of Class A play the last few seasons. However, due to classification changes, they dropped down to B. Obviously, new season, inaugural year for Class 2A for fall baseball. Were a few surprises for the classifications. Specifically, Clayton and Buffalo Valley is a co-op move up from B all the way to 2A. Most of the schools, not a surprise, teams like Bing, Calera, Latta, Dale, Silo, etc. Sentinel coached by first-year head coach Jason Goosetree. They enter a preseason ranking in Prep Nation's poll 6. They're now up to number 4 in the OSSAA. Their first poll, technically it's the third week of action. 6-2 record on the year, dropping games against Sterling 11-1 and then Hammond 6-5 in their last game. Otherwise victorious over Loki Vesicles, Blair, Navajo, Sweetwater, Fletcher, and Granite. After the walk, fly out to center field, snags it, has to return back to first, and now 2 down. Leedey started off season fairly well. They've dropped to 4-5 on the year. They were victorious over Arnett and Binger Oni in 11-3, 11-5 games. Beat Hydro Eakly 12-7, beat Cheyenne Radon 2-1. Started the season 4-0. However, they have dropped their last 5 consecutive games, and 3 of the 5 losses have been run rules. Calumet beating them 18-1, Hammond 11-1. Fort Cobb Broxton 13-0, and then losses against Canute and Calumet again 7-5 and 7-6. They had been ranked inside the top 10, falling out in our Week 3 rankings as well as the OSSAA site. Ball gets away from the catcher, wild throw. Base runner in safe at second. Infield pop-up fly's going to go right to the third baseman. So 1 base runner on for the Bulldogs. They'll strand it. We'll head to the bottom of the first inning. You're watching Prep Nation TV coverage of the 2024 Hydro Eakly and Weatherford Labor Day Baseball Tournament. I'd like to thank Cock Insurance in Leedey, Oklahoma, and Pierce's Southside Grocery in Sentinel, in addition to Piscina's Mexican Cafe for making our live feeds, live streams, plays of the game, and video highlights available to you free of charge. All right, first Leedey Bison will be up to bat. We do have a technical glitch on the scoreboard, so I'll do my best to walk through the pitch counts. I will advise everybody in advance later today if we do leave the camera still, there will be a screenshot. It'll just pretty much stay without score and update because we will not be here for the Hydro Eakly game. And in for the strike. So just like that, it is one down for Leedey. Not a good start. On point delivery so far for the Bulldogs pitcher. Only one pitch so far thrown out of 5 has been a ball. And just jinxed him back to back. 2-2 pitch count. Should have said out of 6. He had 3 out of 3 for strikes to start. So 5 strikes in a row, then 2 balls in a row. Fouls it off to stay alive. 2-2 pitch count. And back-to-back outs recorded. Swing and a miss. And it is a 3-up, 3-down inning. Led at the top of the second inning, score remains Leedey 0, Sentinel 0. You're watching Prep Nation TV coverage of the 2024 Labor Day Baseball Tournament. So a pop-up and 2 strikeouts. And in quick order, they got it done. Outside corner. And the swing and a miss. Full count. And he walks it. So back-to-back innings, Sentinel has a runner on. First inning, it was the second base runner, this time lead off. And in for another strike. And ringing him up. However, another ball gets away from the catcher. It hasn't really necessarily been his fault. Pitcher's just been a little bit wild. They were advancing the base runner to second in the first, and now they get back-to-back bases. So Sentinel now with an opportunity here to potentially take the lead in the top of the second. And another walk, runners on the corners for Sentinel. Safe at second once again. So 5 stolen bases for the Bulldogs, and now they are really threatening to score here in the top of the second. And another walk, bases loaded, Head coach will head out to the mound, not liking what he's seeing here early on with pitching command. Brandon Goldston, the head skipper for the Leedey Bison. Bases will be loaded for Sentinel. It is game one, day one action here at Weatherford Eagle Park, a cross-site co-host venue. There will be games Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. However, the easiest way to explain it is it's kind of a round robin double elimination back end format. So there will be teams in Hydro that are flipping and vice versa that'll be going over to the other side if they lose. Generally, if you win and continue to win, you pretty much stay in the site that you're at until we get to Monday's games, where there is a final punch out and then there can be a best 2 out of 3 championship game. All of those games will be played at Hydro Eakley. Since we've got a lull in action, give you the schedule for today at Hydro. First game up, Fort Cobb Broxton and Binger Oni. And then the next game will be Verdon versus Canute. The winner of both of those games will meet at approximately 2 p.m. The hometown Hydro Eakley Bobcats are playing the Navajo Indians. Winner of that game advances to play tomorrow. A correction, to play again against Dale. The loser was slotted to play tomorrow. So Dale gets the winner at 6 o'clock. Bracket here at Weatherford. Leedey Sentinel leads off today at noon. It'll be Arapahoe Butler versus Lokeba Sickles. Winner of those games will play again at 2 o'clock. Sterling versus Visai at approximately 4 p.m. Winner of that game will play again at 6 against Amber Pocasset. Pitching change now here for the Bison. Just waiting for a catcher, it looks like. Flies out to left field, snags it. Fortunately for Leedey, he was able to maintain possession. Little surprised Sentinel didn't go ahead and just jump it, but I think the base runner was confused whether or not he had caught it or dropped it. However, had he not caught it, he would have been pretty much out at home by a mile. Forced at any base runners can't advance. In that particular case, probably would have just stayed put and forced him to try to throw him out at first. Hit by pitch, base advances the runner, and it's a 1-0 lead now for Sentinel. Bases remain loaded. Ooh, nice rip. We continue to have some issues with the scoreboard, so I apologize in advance if you're trying to see it. Fouls it off. Wild throws have proven costly for Leedey here in the first. They've advanced base runners initially, one, and then got him out in the top of the first. However, the dam broke here in the top of the second. Hit pitch. Back to back batters walked, and then another hit pitch scores a run for Sentinel. They had a fly out to left that looked promising at the time. Great catch by the left fielder as he snags it laying down on the grass. So prevented another run potentially from coming in where we could have a potential 2-0 lead right now. That's going to be basically the same spot, except this time the shortstop's going to, oh, they boy, just collapsed. I'm going to call that one an E7. He just absolutely planked his own player. Somebody's got to wave him off on that particular point. Tough break for Leedey. That would have really been a much needed out. Ooh, wicked rip in between shortstop and third. Scores another run. 3-0 lead for the Bulldogs. It's officially our first hit of the game for Sentinel, which is very rare to already have 3 runs scored, bases loaded, back to back to back, and still not have a hit. But that's how bad it's been for the walks, the hit by pitches, and now the error causing an issue for Leedey. In for the strike. It'll be a busy day today and tomorrow. And then we'll kind of taper off a little Saturday on the scheduling, get a break on Sunday, and then be back in action on Monday for potentially 3 games. But there'll be a total of 20 games played just today and tomorrow at the co venues and sites. Hydro Weekly High School, technically the old Hydro High School. 0-2 on the pitch count. And then here at Weatherford Eagle Park, a beautiful park in the Raider Park district. That one goes foul. You haven't been here before, there's multiple things to do kind of over in this area. Off of Lyle Road, a softball diamond, baseball park, multiple dog walking areas, and tons of things to do with your family. If you enjoy getting outdoors, you should come on out and check it out. I missed the other count. All right, 1-1. Nope, 1-2, correction. Evens up our pitch count 2-2. And breaks outside, full count. So a make or break out now for the Bison. They have got to get out of this jam. They need to strike out, fly out, ground out. Chopper into single, bam. So 2 collisions, this time shortstop and second base. He does keep the ball. However, a collision between shortstop and left field causes a dropped ball. So the shortstop having a rough day at the office. It is 2 down, though. A score update for you at the game at Hydro. Fort Cobb Broxton has opened up a 9-0 lead over Binger Oni in the top of the second inning. So it is all Mustangs. They still have a base runner at second, no outs. And Fort Cobb Broxton 9-0 over Binger. So we've got 2 shutouts going on now head to head. Sentinel 3-0 Leedey and Fort Cobb Broxton 9-0 over Binger Oni. One-two pitch count. If there's been any positive for the pitching change, he's been able to manage the pitch counts a little bit better and hasn't fallen behind in every batter pitcher battle. It's going to be low and down 2-2. Weatherford with one of the more pro-style looking baseball parks and diamonds, a massive back center field wall. It's definitely a pitcher's park. That's how I would describe it. Low again, so 3 consecutive full count bats coming up. Sentinel looking to continue to roll. Leedey needs to get an out. They've been able to record 2 of the last 3 batters, so they have had some success with the pitching change. Runners are going, and another bases loaded walk. So 3 unearned runs have come in. 1 RBI single, bloop shot out to center field. So miscues have proven to be costly for Leedey, and seeing if they can get themselves back out of this jam here in the top of the second. And in for strike. And gets the strikeout. So Leedey definitely needed to stop. They did get a stop. We'll head to the bottom of the second inning. Score now: Sentinel 4, Leedey 0. Bison will be up to bat. Bottom of the second inning coming up. You're watching PNTV coverage of the 2024 Labor Day Baseball Tournament. All right, here we go, folks. Bottom of the second underway. Leedey will need a big rally and good at bats this particular inning. Unable to do really much in the bottom of the first. It was a 3-up, 3-down inning. And another strikeout. So the malaise continues for the Bison at the plate. They've had 3 strikeouts and a pop up that barely went outside of the batter's circle. First contact made, and an E5 puts the base runner on. So the Bison have their first runner of the game. Just off the mark, low and outside. Only difference in the Fort Collins Broxton Binger game is that now the bases are loaded for the Mustangs. It's still top of the second. 9-0 lead for Fort Collins Broxton. Down in the dirt, base runner just kind of shimmies down, stop start style, and safe with the stolen base. And just like that, a grand slam for the Mustangs, 13-0 Fort Collins Broxton. Wow, what an explosive top second already for the Mustangs. rips it to the shortstop, fires over to first, stretches out, gets him on the 6-3 ground out. Base runner does advance to third. So the Bison with a runner in scoring position for the first time in the game. And the walk now on the corners for Leedey, first and third. And in safe at second. Nice hustle on the stolen base. In high. I believe we've got a 2-0 pitch count. And fouls it off for back-to-back now strikes. Ooh, looked to be a good pitch. And walks him, bases loaded. So for the first time in the game, Sentinel now struggling. Score update for you, still in the top of the second. Fort Cobb Broxton now leads Bingeroni 15-0. We've had one pitching change for the Bison, and now skipper out on the mound for Sentinel here. Pitcher had done very well in the first inning, and then now semi kind of in a funk just with ball placement. It appears to be just kind of off the mark, and batters have gotten into a rhythm of just taking more pitches and being a little bit more patient. Collision averted. So Leedey loads them up, but they strand. Infield pop up to shortstop ends the brief rally. We'll head to the top of the third inning with the Bulldogs coming back up to bat. They lead Leedey 4-0. Once again, thank our coverage sponsors for today's live stream video highlights and action. Hawk Insurance and Leedey, and Pierce's Southside Grocery in Sentinel. Vecina's Mexican Cafe is our premier sponsor of the tournament. I'd like to thank Raul and staff. Multiple locations near El Reno, Weatherford, and Hinton. Haven't been to Vecina's Mexican Cafe. They used to have another restaurant called Bravo's. And now keeping the name for the family. And the leadoff walk. And the strikeout. Wow, what a turn. So back-to-back strikeouts. The pitching change really paying off for Leedey. He inherited the bases loaded when he came in, and it really didn't get much worse. Gave up one run and then got a couple of immediate outs. And he's really stifled Sentinel since. Big shot out to center field. Perfectly times it. Flies out. And there you go. The Bison with a much needed stop. Now seeing some excitement in the dugout, some hand pumps and fist being raised. Coach clapping. We're at the bottom of the third. Score remains Sentinel 4, Leedey 0. You're watching Prep Nation TV coverage of Day 1 action, the 2024 Labor Day Baseball Tournament. Update on the Fort Cobb Broxton Bingeroni game. They're now heading into the top of the third. Score remains 15-0 Fort Cobb Broxton. Gives him the corner plate. Just a reminder, the next game coming up will feature Arapahoe Butler versus Loki the Sickles. We will end the feed for each game until the point where we do the Sterling Visai broadcast. We're going to double dip today for the head-to-head Hydro Navajo game with Sterling and Visai. So I'm going to have one camera going here, bounce back to Hydro, and then should Hydro Eakley be victorious and play Dale, we'll cover back-to-back games there. If they should lose to Navajo, then we'll be back for the final game of the evening here at Weatherford, which will be Amber Pocasset versus the winner of Sterling and Visai. Total of 10 games on tap today. Wicked rip to shortstop, snags it, fires, one hands and hops it. Comes off the back, it looks like, though, so he can't handle the funky English on the throw. That's the downside to not planning and firing, is the angle of how the ball comes in. It's a little side-armed sling motion, and it went right toward the feet of the first baseman. It's actually a pretty good defensive stop just to keep it in play and not go beyond the bag. One hopper to the pitcher, fires over to first, bobbles it again. So that is back to back. That one we are going to assign an E3. One hop should have been able to snag that, and instead his foot was off the base again. So even had he caught it, he still would have been unable, I should say, to get the forced tag. Tag out at home. So Leedey tried to get on the scoreboard in the previous inning, loaded the bases up, stranded them, and then their best opportunity to score, tagged out at home plate. So the fielder's choice tag ends the brief rally. However, leaves base runners at first and second. Swing and a miss. And back to back. So bad intentions, just not good extensions. Unable to get the swing, so now 2 strikes. Update on the Fort Cobb, Broxton, and Binger game. It is now 16-0. They're heading to the bottom. Rounding around the first, it's going to be an RBI single, and Leedey gets on the scoreboard. Nicely done. And nice shot over to shortstop. Gets the 6-3 ground out. Sac RBI makes it a 4-2 ball game. So Leedey really clicking now here in the bottom of the third. 2-0 pitch count. Hit by pitch. Puts the base runner back on first and third. Arapahoe Butler now making their way to the dugout that is presently being occupied by Sentinel. Have yet to see Loki Bicycles here at the park. Doesn't mean that they're not already. The inside corner going to steal second uncontested. And falls. Folks, we get a tie ball game. It was a hot shot, difficult to get. He just didn't get enough glove down on the field. So a very short single out to right field scores two. And now it is a 4-4 tie ball game. And that one is going to be a problem. Deep shot to left. It ends up being mid-range. Stand-up double. And Leedey now with all of the momentum in a game that has just been absolutely fascinating to unfold. Well, they looked like they were just going to get rolled in the first and the second inning. Bases loaded, make a pitching change, only gives up one run. Staves off the potential nightmare scenario where it could have been 5-6-7-0 already. And now 4 runs and 2 threatening to pad and take the first lead of the game. And did the Buffalo shuffle there, got a little mixed up. Vingaroni has gotten on the scoreboard in the bottom of the third against Fort Cobb Broxton. Base runner at second with 2 down, 16-1 ball game. And fouls it off again. 2-2. Lunges out to stay alive. Gets the strikeout. So Leedey strands a pair, but they score. And we've now got a tie ball game heading to the top of the fourth inning. You're watching PNTV. Single to center field. Bulldogs back with a runner on. Fielder's choice 1-3. This one's going to go high and shallow out to center field. Fakes the throw and good. Fakes the run, I should say, and good because the throw was on the money. Being here now with base runners at first and second after scoring their first run of the game. Still in the bottom of the third, 16-1 lead for the Mustangs. And almost a repeat, just a little shift. And flies out. So the Bulldogs strand a base runner, unable to score, so they've been held scoreless in back-to-back innings. We'll head to the bottom of the fourth with the Bison coming up to bat. You're watching Prep Nation TV coverage, the 2024